The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. After leaving the mountain, Jesus and his disciples made their way through Galilee, and he did not want anyone to know, because he was instructing his disciples. He was telling them, "The Son of Man will be delivered into the hands of men. They will put him to death, and 3 days after he has been put to death, he will rise again." But they did not understand what he said and were afraid to ask him. They came to Capernaum, and when he was in the house, he asked them, "What were you arguing about on the road?" They said nothing, because they had been arguing which of them was the greatest. So he sat down, called the 12 to him, and said, "If anyone wants to be first, he must make himself last of all and servant of all." He then took a little child, set him in front of them, put his arms around him, and said to them, "Anyone who welcomes one of these little children in my name welcomes me. And anyone who welcomes me welcomes not me, but the one who sent me." The Gospel of the Lord.
I don't know if you remember Cassius Clay in the late 60s and 70s. Who doesn't? He used to shout, "I am the greatest, I am the best." And he used to say it convincingly. And he was the best in his time, definitely. We all have that instinct of considering ourselves the best. And through this, we are also jealous of others. And we fight sometimes. And we use even means to fight others, to be the best. This is our nature. But Jesus is telling us today the contrary. Be humble. Be like little children. He was surprised, all those who expected it, when he was talking about his incoming death and passion on the cross and the resurrection, and his disciples didn't understand anything. In fact, they weren't even considering his word. They were talking about themselves, who was the greatest. They were Cassius Clay. "I am the greatest, I am the best." And Jesus is trying to teach us to be humble, to serve others. This is the secret of a peaceful and Christ-like life. To do what we are called to do in humbleness, in simplicity, in love. This is what Jesus has taught us all. We are to find our own nature of being ambitious, but at the same time, yes, He wants us to be better persons, as we said, on this earth, because He asked, "I want you to be perfect as your Father is perfect in heaven." So while this paradox is being taught by Christ, pushing us to be perfect, pushing us to be better person, pushing us to be as Christ was, but at the same time telling us the way to reach this is through the passion, is through the cross, and then the resurrection. There wouldn't have been a resurrection without the cross. And so, if we start living like Christ lived, in being serving each other, in being compassionate, in being serving to each other, in being simple in life, forgiving each other, and moving on, by being simple, by being humble, yes, we reach the peace that Christ gives us. We reach the perfection that Christ is telling us that he promises to all those who follow in his footsteps. We are not promised that in our life there will be no crosses. Or on the contrary, Jesus is telling us, unless you carry your cross like I have done, you cannot be my disciple. So we all have crosses to carry. We all have problems in our life. We all have addictions of one or the other. But this is a constant fight to be better, to overcome these problems. And we overcome them by being compassionate, by serving others. And serving others in the simple way as Mother Teresa used to do. Going out in the streets of Calcutta, picking the dead, taking them home, and giving them a decent death in a bed. This is what we need to do. Having a sensitive ear, sensitive eyes, where we look and find and perceive the need of others and are ready to help, are ready to give our time, our talent, even our money to help others and see them better persons. Even while helping, while trying to be better persons and being the first, at the same time we need to be humble enough to say, we are humble persons. We are not doing anything special. That's what Mother Teresa used to say. I am only doing the will of God in my life. This is what God wants to me. This is what Jesus Christ wants from me, to be his disciple, and I am trying to do it at the best of my ability. Let's read this prayer that we have on the screen. My God, I come to you in humble acknowledgement that I have not always sought to serve others. I have also failed to accept the willing service offered to me. Instead, I seek to control situations and people. I look for that which serves me best, provides me with feelings of worth and power, denying others that same privilege. My pride is my downfall. For this I am sorry. I beg forgiveness of my caring God and of my brothers and sisters whom I have failed to serve, as well as denied their gift of serving me. Amen. Let's all stand up, please. I believe.